All right, so today we're going to talk about texting game with new women that you are just starting to date. Trying to figure out what's the sweet spot. How much should you be texting them? When do you text them? Things like this. This is for guys out there who just can't quite. Things are a little bit still hazy when it comes to how to interact via text messages. Because I did get a guy asking me, actually another member of Club Scoundrel, the private men's club that I have, that is a place with forums, with group coaching calls. It's a great place if you guys are looking to interact with me and meet other like-minded men from around the world. $10 a month. You can click the link down below to find more about that. But let's get to the point of the video, which is how do you text new women that you're dating? So I'm going to get into this because this is a great question and I can see how it could be very confusing. So one of the guys in the group just asked me, he had a first date with a woman, said it went really well. And he was just trying to figure out, how do I set up the next date? So it's actually very, very simple. And the first concept that I want you to remember is that the phone should really only be used to set up the date. You can have a little bit of back and forth, but it's not where you get to know a girl. A lot of guys think, well, I got to get to know her so she feels comfortable and blah, blah, blah. But this can work against you. And I'll get into why that is a little bit later. But if you go out on a date and the next day she's messaging already, she says, hey, I had such a great time with you. It was a lot of fun. Now, if she messages you the next day, that's perfect for you because then you don't have to chase at all. You don't have to be the one reaching out to her. And it's always nice when you allow a woman to come after you and chase you. It shows that she is into you. So when she does this isn't an opportunity for you to be, oh yeah, it was great seeing you too. What are you up to today? And starting to go back and forth on those kinds of conversations. No, absolutely not. This is your opportunity to set up the next time for you two to get together in person and share more fun stories in person, okay? So if she does hit you up and tells you how much fun she had the night before, simply say, hey, you know what? I had a great time too. When are you free for round 2? Or, I had a great time as well. When are you free to get together next? Something along those lines. You don't have to copy me exactly, but you want to be direct and to the point. Now, why is this? A lot of you guys might be like, yo, that sounds so direct. It's too bold. And I'm going to tell you that it is absolutely not too bold because a man should be bold. Masculine men are direct, they're to the point, and they go for what they want. And this in turn really turns women on. And let me give you this insider tip too. The only reason why she's reaching out to you is because she hopes that you set up another date with you. She wants to connect with you. Now, women aren't direct like men. They're not going to say, hey, I really had a good time with you last night. Let's get together again. This is very rare. Some women will do this. I think in my life, this has happened to me 2 or 3 times at the most, and I've gone out with a lot of different women. Maybe only 2 or 3 times has someone said, has a girl said to me that direct, like, when can we get together again? Are you free this weekend? It doesn't happen often because women speak more indirectly. They hint. And so their method of hinting is to put themselves in your world, in your zone, in your orbit, put their feelers out there. And the reason why is because they don't want to get rejected, right? They don't want to put themselves on the line. Women are not used to rejection like men are. Men are used to getting rejected all of the time. So if a girl reaches out to you, she's going to say it in that manner. And then, like I said, you just take that opportunity to ask her when she's free to get together again. And once she does that, she tells you her availability next Tuesday is her next free day or whatever. Like, okay, cool. Awesome. And if it's a second date, I recommend picking them up. Be like, okay, cool. Well, you know what? Why don't you tell me your address and I'll be there at 7. I'll pick you up at 7 o'clock. Boom. Just real quick and easy. And she may ask you, where are we going? And this is a great opportunity for you then to have a little bit of mystery here and say, well, you know what? That's for me to know and you to find out. Now, some of you guys might be afraid to say this. You're like, oh my God, she doesn't know where we're going. She might be freaked out. Nah, Some women will. Some women might. It's rare. If she really likes you, she's going to trust you. If she's a feminine woman who trusts you, she will be totally down for it. Out of all the years of my dating when I've done this, I think maybe one or two times a girl asked what we were doing, where we were going, and those women were women who were insecure, a little bit masculine, kind of control-y, right? And they were older, they were more control-y, but feminine women who trust you, they want to be swept off their feet. So they're going to kind of like that. Like, you're taking charge, you come up with this cool thing, and they absolutely love to be surprised. You're leading them and you're showing them through your behavior and you're being playful about it. So that's what I would suggest. And so in between that time, then, don't be chatting. Don't be telling her about your day. How's your day? Don't reach out. Good morning. How are you? Don't do any of that bullshit. Just wait till you see her. Now, if she reaches out to you during that time, then of course answer, have a brief conversation, 2 or 3 texts at the most, but don't be going on and on. Now, let me tell you why, okay? When you go on and on and on, it sucks out the tension, the sexual tension, the anticipation. You allowing her to wonder about you, you allowing her to stew in her head like, oh my gosh, I haven't heard from him. Are we still on for next week? Or I'm so looking forward to seeing him again, and it's building and building. That's actually a gift that you're giving her. By you alleviating that, and every day saying, good morning, how are you? How are you doing today? Oh, how was your day? And every day until the time you see her again, you're actually robbing her of the gift of anticipation. So don't do that. Let her get excited about it. And so when she finally sees you, it's like, boom, wow, here we are in person once again. And I was so looking forward to seeing you again. Now, this gentleman also asked, he had a little caveat to this conversation, which was she was going to be out of town for a week or two. So he's like, well, what do you do in between that time? Because that's kind of a long time to go, right? And I recommend to you, it's very simple, okay? Don't overthink this. If she says, well, I'm going to be out of town for the next 2 weeks, blah, 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 then just simply say, okay, well, that's no problem. Hope you have a great time. Why don't you hit me up when you're back and we'll set something up. Now, again, this might freak some of you guys out. Like, well, shit, if I don't talk to her at least once in that 2 weeks, maybe she'll forget about me. And, I'll be honest with you, some women might forget about you. If they do, that just means that they probably weren't super into you to begin with. But if she's into you, she's gonna hit you back. Like, that has happened to me countless times where I've been out of town, they've been out of town, whatever the situation was, and it was just like, okay, well, cool. When you come back, I'll hit you up, or she'll hit me up, or whatever. And you just come back, and we're right back at it, as if no time has passed. Now, there has been cases where they never reach out to me again, and I'm like, okay, well, that's cool too, because it just shows me that she's really not that into me, and I don't need to spend any more time investing in something that with a woman who's just not that into me. So it makes it very, very easy, actually. Now, the problem is, though, is most guys are too afraid to let go. They're too afraid of her leaving. Maybe they're really into her for whatever reason, I don't know. But this is where you get into trouble, is where you start to get a little needy, and she's going to sense that. So you have to be willing to accept that she may never reach out to you again, or you may never get together with her again. But that's the risk that you have to take, and this is how you build up that strength and that masculine energy that she'll be compelled to want to reach out to you again. Okay, so like I said, if you're out of town and you say, hey, I'm going to be out of town for the next couple of weeks, but I'll hit you back when I'm back in town, then, you can do that when you come back, and the same goes for her. Now, I don't want to just pretend like there are no ways to get to know a woman over text, but I say this with caution because I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm good at messaging women in such a way that it doesn't come off as needy. So now, this is a learned skill. You have to finesse this, but I really don't suggest you guys do this and think, okay, I can do it. If he can do it, I can do it. I would suggest to you not doing it, because I don't really do it. I don't get to know women over text. In certain circumstances where you just have to, then yeah, I have done it before, and it's worked just fine. And the way it's done is that you the text, the contents is usually something fun and playful, right? You're laughing together, a little joke, a little flirty banter, a couple of messages, but then you got to get out of there. You got to be like, okay, well, hey, you know what? I got to run because I got to head to a meeting, or I got to do this thing. I'm going to this event, but I'll talk to you soon. You got to get out of that conversation. You can't just keep going back and forth until the point where it's like you send a message and then she never responds back to you. This is where so many guys go wrong, is that they're sitting there talking and then get to the point where she's like, okay, she goes off and does something. She's just kind of bored of the conversation and leaves you unread. And you're like, oh, fuck, did I just screw something up? And the answer is, yeah, you were texting too damn much. So that's why I'm going to tell you guys, just don't even get into the habit of that at this point, okay? It's not a good idea. It's better just to be like, boom, set it up and meet her at that time and go from there, okay? You just want to be off your phone as much as possible, because chances are you probably don't have very good texting game or the ability to banter and flirt in such a way that is smooth, okay? At least not yet anyway. So this is for newbie guys or guys who are just starting to see a new woman. How do you text? This is essentially how to do it. So that is it. If you have questions, feel free to drop them down in the comments below. And if you are looking to get one-on-one personal coaching with yours truly, Coach Jason, I have links down below. I have a brand new website, thesophisticatedscoundrel.com. I'm super pumped about. So go check it out. Even if you don't want to book a coaching session with me, click on that thing. Just go check it out. It's kind of a fun website. Lots of different little thingies on there that you can check out. But if you do want to book a session with me, you can also find out all about my coaching at the website. So go check it out. Click down below. And if you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe to the Sophisticated Scoundrel channel, this video that you're watching right now. I put out videos every week. All right, that is it for this one. We'll see you in the next video.